Welcome everyone. This is the Black Professionals Foundation series of interviews with our 2018 inaugural class of Trendsetters. I am here today with Mr. Juleian Curtis, Planning Coordinator with CMHA. Welcome, Juleian.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out today and for opening yourself up to our community of professionals. So we want to get to know you. We want to understand why you were nominated to be a trendsetter, especially in our inaugural class. Someone out there thinks that you are an amazing professional. And so we want to kind of get to know each of our 6 trendsetters better. And so we're here today to learn more about you, what you do professionally, a little bit about you personally, and you can tell us what you hope to see, what your vision is for Northeast Ohio.
Great. Honored to be a part of this group, especially the inaugural class, and excited to chat.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about the work that you do with CMHA.
Sure. My official title is Planning Coordinator at Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority, like you mentioned. A lot of my work revolves around our Modernization and Development Department, where we're rehabbing units that have reached a point of state that they need significant repair, or we're demolishing older structures and building things from scratch. But in addition to that, I also help oversee what's called the Connect Home Initiative, which is a federal initiative geared toward connecting all residents that we serve to high-speed internet.
You're originally from Pennsylvania.
That's correct.
How did you end up here in Cleveland?
So, as you said, I'm from Pennsylvania. I was born in Philadelphia. I spent a lot of time in Philadelphia County as well as Montgomery County, which is a neighboring county to Philadelphia. But I have made my way to Cleveland by way of Kent State. So I tried to find a place that was kind of in the middle of terms of had architecture and was at an athletic level that I could maybe compete at. So Kent State was kind of that sweet spot. Met my girlfriend's soon-to-be wife. At the time, certainly didn't know that at the time. And we had children pretty early on, and that's kind of what has kept us in Cleveland.
So speaking of your academic background, of course, education and scholarship is at the heart of the mission of the Black Professionals Foundation. You have 3 very distinct degrees. Your bachelor's degree is in architecture, your master's degree is in urban planning, and then you have a certificate in geographic information systems.
Right.
So your work at CMHA is definitely very important and very relevant to our community, and you strike me as someone who works very hard. But I guess I would wonder, do you also play hard? What does Juleian do on a Friday night or a Saturday afternoon? How do you kind of unwind from the responsibilities that you have?
Sure, I'm pretty low key, and a lot of my focus is in my children. I have 2 daughters, 6 and 3, and a son finally who's 14 months.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And try to get them as active as possible. Sometimes it's more challenging than I'd like it to be. So, and then from time to time, me and some of the buddies that I've met since I've been out here, we'll go to sporting events.
And what do you love about Cleveland? What parts of town do you love?
So what I really enjoy about Cleveland is it's a big city. You get all the big city perks without kind of the big city cons, if you will. So the traffic, kind of the hustle bustle, and almost the fight for space, if you will. There's kind of an attitude that comes with like an East Coast city of. Yeah. And so I think kind of the last point you mentioned about being in a pipeline, we just received what's called a Choice Neighborhood Planning Grant for the Woodhill community. If you kind of the Buckeye, Woodland. Area just off of University Circle there, kind of by the Justice Center, East 105 area. And what that grant does is about $350,000, and that grant goes toward preparing a plan for revitalizing not only that public housing community, but the neighborhood around it.
Okay. You've also identified Jeff Patterson as the CEO of CMHA as a mentor. What is it about Jeff's leadership style or his, executive presence that for you resonates as something you would like to emulate in your career?
Yeah, so whether he knows he's a mentor to me or not is, at least in my opinion, he knows after he watches this, right? So I had every intention of going back to Philadelphia when I graduated from Kent in 2011. But having my daughter born and getting married and having the support system that her family was able to provide here, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense to relocate. I think there's a family consideration as a young person. I think most young people, I would imagine, don't have as many children, or maybe are married, but it's just them and their spouse or a significant other. So I think there's some factors from a personal standpoint that kind of kept me tied to here, and it's not in a bad way at all. I think my experience has been great, and like I said, I've had an opportunity to grow year by year at CMHS.
Well, on behalf of the foundation, we wish you much success in building an outstanding legacy, and we thank you and welcome you to the Black Professionals family as a member of our 2018 Trendsetters. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I'm Marcella Brown with the Black Professionals Foundation, and we'll be back soon with our continuation of the Trendsetter interviews.